Hello, all my Taurians. Welcome to your monthly reading for the month of February. And in this month, we're going to be looking at the sacral chakra. If you watched January's reading, then you know that we're going to be looking at, for the first 7 months, each of the 7 more popular chakras, and then we'll move beyond those. But for the first 7, we're going to move through those. So we focused on the root chakra last month for January and the sacral chakra for this month. The sacral chakra brings in this beautiful energy of, it's like the seat of creativity. So it is about how we can release our creative energy is what we're going to be looking at, part of it. The other thing is that the sacral chakra, where the root chakra had to deal with us in groups like a tribe, the sacral chakra is about us one-on-one relationships. So it'll be how we can transform our one-on-one relationships. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from a deck I'm working on with the creator. It actually has 7 separate decks, one for each of the chakras. This one's the orange, this one's the sacral, and this is about what is sparking our emotional fire. So we'll just give these a shuffle and see what the creator wants overall for the month of February for you to know about your creativity and about your one-on-one relationships. So let's do a little bit more here. There we go. All right, so for our Taurians, what would you like them to know for their February? Okay, there we go. So you have the win-lose game, and of course this is all about your one-on-one relationship here, and here's the heart in the middle. And this card is all about wanting to prove that, like, your core beliefs are more truer than the other person's core beliefs. I call them the small t truths, so of our ego, all those expectations, the supposed to, the should, the need to, the have to, etc. And that's what gets us into this kind of battling. It has a lot of the energy of the 5 of swords for me, and it is about this going back and forth, and what's spawning the conflict is the fear of, if what you're believing is not true, what else is not true, and it just shakes your world. So that's when we get offended, when someone doesn't believe what we want them to believe, or the same as us, or we get defensive when we feel we're getting attacked, someone trying to make us change our mind about one of our truths. But I love on here, the creator gives us the best defense is to not get offended. So usually it's like the best defense is a good offense. Well, the best defense is not to get offended at all. And that is our choice. I know in this day and age, my goodness, we are so easily offended. In the United States, at least, it doesn't take much for someone to get offended over what someone says. And so everyone's walking around on eggshells about different things all over the place, even before these last couple of years where it just got blown way out of extremes. But this is about us understanding that we can be in a place where I don't have to prove, my truths are less true or more true than anyone else's, right? Because I get to decide what anything means about me. I get to decide what story I put to anything, what emotion I put, or what I choose to feel about any situation, because that is our power of choice. That is our willpower. We have that. We get to choose. We get to decide. And when we're able to really get into this place of peace within ourselves in choosing not to get offended, understanding that every moment is either of unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love. If we're not feeling unconditional love, then we're in fear, and we're just going to get in either fight or flight with that fear rising up within us. But if we can take deep breaths and step out of it and focus on love instead, unconditional love, then that helps us transform our one-on-one relationships, because we realize, they're just freaking out because they're in fear and they're trying to be in control. That's why they're trying to either get me to think their way because they think I'm going to get hurt if I don't. So they're doing it out of, fear of me experiencing pain. Or they're going through fear, kind of like someone who's drowning and they're just freaking out, trying to keep above water. Sometimes you grab other people and bring them underwater with you because you're panicking. And that's kind of this feel that's around that. Well, we'll dig in more of this, I'm sure. But also what I do is I take an actual deck, a tarot deck, and I take out the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana. And the major arcana, these stack here, represents like this. What's the overall energies the creator wants you to know for the month? So we'll see what else the creator wants you to know about your creativity. Actually, they want that one right there. Or your transformation of your one-on-one relationships. Yeah, I should have said this because I knew this was going to come out. Because the Chariot, this is all about your power of choice. It's exactly what I was talking about. We get to choose what anything means about, they usually have a dark horse and a light horse. And this one, they just have a little dragon pulling it. I don't see a dark dragon. I guess there is a dark dragon there too. There's a darkness and a light, but it's always us having the power to choose between what story we want to put in a situation and what emotion we want to feel. So this is all about our power of choice. So I love it. It cracks me up. I just love when they come out that way. Now the minor arcana of the deck, they represent the 4 different suits, are 4 different parts of your life. The first one we're going to look at is it's called the staves, or stabs, which is normally wands in a standard tarot deck. And this is like your spark, your aha inspiration, your passion, your drive, your ambitions. Also represents your spiritual energy. So for this reading, it's going to represent what the creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure during the month of February regarding this. So, creator for our Taurians, what would you like them to know about their spiritual energy? There we go. You got the king of staves, so the king of wands. And this, of course, represents a couple things. One, because it represents your spiritual energy, and it's the king. It's the highest spiritual connection that you can have, which would be your higher self, which would be to your soul, to your own spirit. So this is all about focusing in and connecting to the unconditionally loving being that you are, that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. The king also of wands or staves, he can be so focused. He brings in, it's very much fire energy, the wands or the stabs, however you want to say it, and it represents this ability to not like it take a risk, but the fire energy is that passion, is that fire that comes in. And all of the kings in the suit also bring in air energy, which is of the mind. So the king, with all that passion and that drive and that ability, along with that beautiful mental energy that it has, is able to accomplish things and able to really figure things out and make things happen as well. And they're usually protected. There's usually like a salamander or a lizard of some kind. There's not one on here, but I think in these they have the dragons are what protect you. And so the risk that you might think that you're not taking a risk at all, because you're able and you are protected in how you're going to put this energy into motion. And I feel for this is really about really connecting to your higher self, because this unconditional love that's in the middle here, that transforms this, that allows you to choose in different ways. Instead of choosing from fear, it allows you to choose from a place of love instead, which definitely helps you not want to battle and fight and become defensive or be offensive, right? I'm also going to pull from these I Am Everything cards here, just to see what else the creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure. what else do you want Taurians to know about their spiritual adventure? Okay, there we go. And you've got, I am ambitious. It says, I put my goals and ideas into action. I take a leap of faith and I believe in myself. When I put my heart's desires into action, it is for the good of all of those involved. I am ambitious. Yeah, so that's perfect. So like we were talking about, you really connect to your passions and you're able to put these ideas into action because you have ideas and you have this in your mind, but you also have all this powerful fiery energy behind you as well. So that would be the creativity side that I was talking about in the beginning. We're definitely going to be talking about relationships here, but this is about you, the creativity within you, this pure, beautiful, unique way that you want to express your passion and unconditional love with the world. This is going to help you do that. And then we're going to move into the next suit, which is coins. That can be pentacles in a regular suit too. And this is the earth element, the earth energy. And so this, for your reading, represents your physical environment during the month of February. So that can be anything on the stage of life with you, people, situations, things, whatever props are on that stage there with you. This is what the Creator wants you to know about your physical adventure. This is your energy, Taurus. So nothing to fear here. This is like where you don't swim, but you run around on there. Yep, you got the 9 of coins. This is beautiful because this represents, being the 9 of pentacles, of course, you finding this feeling of abundance. But the 9s are all about that you find it from within yourself, not from external things on the outside. So you're not needing to get this validation and all this from the outside, which makes sense because as you find this within you and you're living your ideas and your dream and you're putting it into action here, you feel this wholeness and this completeness, and you don't feel the need to win or lose. You don't fear it because you feel protected. You feel like you're living your passion. And especially with this awareness that comes that you get to choose what something means about you or what a situation means. People have their opinions on the outside, but you get to determine what it is. And by that, you can, how they say it's not falling down, that's the failure. It's not getting back up, that's the failure. And so when you fall down, or an inventor who tried 1,000 ways that didn't work, they said, no, I found there weren't 1,000 failures, there were 1,000 ways that it didn't work to help me find the one that did. So it's this power of choice around what abundance means and how you look and perceive life. And you find it all from within. So you do have this during February, this more fuller feeling about life. And then we're going to pull a card here from the Earth Magic Oracle and to see what else the Creator wants you to know about your physical side of your life during February. All right, what else do you want our Taurians to know about their physical adventure in February? Okay. Okay, it does look like you have 2. You've got Milky Way perspective, like we were just talking about. And then you've got Green Man synergy. And I'm going to put this one under here. And let's take a look here and see what the Green Man has to say. I feel like the perspective one is exactly what we were talking about. So that's going to be like the big thing. So we're going to take the message for the Green Man. It says, you have the advantage of an incredible synergy at this time. A flow of life is guiding you, where things just seem to fall into place as you move about your business. You are in a mutually cooperative interaction with Spirit, as your will is aligned with the will of Spirit, and your mission is congruent with your sense of purpose, like we were talking about. When this is happening, there is synergy, a way that your life force is continually coming into balance with the forces of nature. There's also a synergy between your spiritual awareness and your personal self or ego. Be aware of the various idiosyncrasies of your ego and do not take any of them too seriously. Know that your higher self is always looking out for your best interests. In this cycle, tune in to that guidance, however it shows up, and you will find that you move through life with greater ease due to synergistic balance of forces expressing themselves as you. So yeah, definitely, like it's talking about, don't get involved in the defensiveness and offensiveness and those ways of the ego. Connect to your higher self, and that brings in this beautiful synergy. And then let's read the Milky Way. And this is like you have lost your perspective, which would be here. So it's time to step back, breathe, and allow yourself to detach in order to gather information from your senses and regain your perspective about the situation. Detachment does not mean that you no longer care. It simply indicates that you are looking at things from a different point of view. It's an outlook that is not clouded by emotions, judgment, or attachment to outcome, but instead maintains a non-reactive awareness of these things. Not reactive, non-reactive. The witness, that internal aspect of yourself that simply observes everything in your life, offers his or her eyes here. Through these lenses of pure awareness, you can examine all aspects of your experiences, physical, emotional, and mental, without denying anything. By doing so, you will come to understand a greater perspective that is typically justified by the ego, which allows you to see what is before you with clear vision and an open mind. Yep, so definitely there's this perspective switch that happens, and both of these really talked about this difference between your ego and your spiritual self too. So that is repeating. Next, we're going to move into the sword suit, which is the element of air, and that represents your mind. So this is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And so this will be your mental adventure during the month of February. So for our Taurians, what mental adventure? Okay, that one right there. And you got the Queen of Swords. So this is perfect because the Queen does two things. One, she's, of course, bringing in this beautiful mental energy for you, and she has this Ace of Swords that she wields, and that brings you capital T truths of your higher self, but it also allows you to cut away the small T truths of your ego, like it was talking about. So you become less defensive because you're becoming more aware of the higher realm of the beautiful, like this is a capital T truth, that life doesn't decide what happens to you and what it's supposed to mean to you and what emotions you choose. This is all about you get to choose all that, and that's a big capital T truth. The small T truth is you have to defend every moment of your life, and you must, prove that you are correct, and, because we're taught that when this thing happens, this is what it's supposed to mean. When this happens, this is how it's supposed to feel. But the Queen of Swords allows you to cut away all that stuff because it no longer serves you. It served you to experience what being defensiveness and offended might mean. But when you're ready to let that go, you have the power to move into different things. The other thing, in addition to the air energy, all the queens bring in water energy. So she has this balance, like this talked about this balance here. She definitely understands balance because she has understood, because she's experienced all these sword suits almost all the way up to the end. She knows that when you make decisions strictly from your mind, we're probably making decisions based on fear a lot of the time. Whereas also people that make decisions strictly on emotion are usually making decisions out of emotional fear. But when you combine and balance out both heart and mind, you get to see things from a different perspective, and then you make these balanced decisions as well. And this kind of looks like it can be a balancing too, right? We're also going to pull cards from the numerology guidance cards here for the mental adventure and see what else the creator wants you to know. But that is a beautiful card. It's definitely a card of power because you're wielding that beautiful Ace of Swords. So what else for our Taurians? Okay, that one right there. Oh, yay, patience. Don't you love that? but that's a good card, though, right? And it is orange. This is the sacral chakra. So definitely it has to do with this balancing between with this relationship with you and others. Be patient with their perspectives. Be patient on where they're coming from. And especially we talked about, you learn that if it's not of unconditional love, it's of fear. And so if they're feeling defensive or offending you, then you can have patience with where they're coming from. Take a deep breath like it talked about, and take a step back like it talked about, and not draw your sword, but give them love instead and try to find out what's going on. And that can keep you from a battle. And there's nothing wrong with having battles. It's why we come here. But if you're tired of this, which really is emphasized by this Queen of Swords, that you're ready for something new, that, this is one way that it can happen. And this card indicates a time to stop and enjoy the present moment, as nothing more can be done to achieve the outcome you desire. Rather than take action on God, you are being asked to evaluate your progress and clarify your dreams, which will help you manifest them sooner. This card also indicates a need to take your time and pace yourself instead of making hasty plans and decisions. Failure to do so could result in stress and disappointment. This is an opportunity to focus all your energy and attention on visualizing your dreams, as opposed to pushing against the obstacles standing in your way. Surrender the outcome to the universe and get on with living your life. Allow things to come to fruition in divine order and timing. Stillness is the key to receiving clear and accurate guidance, and patience will help you attract the outcome you desire. And the affirmation for this card is, I patiently trust and surrender the outcome to the divine. So, excellent. And then we move into the final suit, which is Cups. That's water, of course, which represents our emotional side, our emotional journey. So this will be what the creator wants you to know about your emotional adventure in February. So for our Taurians, what do you want them to know about their emotional adventure? Okay. And you've got the Knight of Cups. Knight is about movement. And so that is a great card to have here, because there's this movement in your emotions. There's this transformation, this change. Or in some cases, like when I'm looking at here and I'm seeing this heart, it's like if the heart isn't present, it's because the heart isn't in there. It's all about fears. And so with this new movement of the emotions, this is beautiful, because all of the royalty, which is the pages, the knights, the queens, and the kings, they all carry the Ace of Cups. It's the chalice, it's the Holy Grail. And what's within that cup is the essence of the unconditional love of who we are, of who the Creator is. And so this is about movement, bringing unconditional love and having it activate in your life, having it be the emotion that you choose rather than the fear and the defensiveness and the offensiveness. So it's great that this is coming in here, especially you have the King of Wands here, who basically is the essence of the unconditional love being that you are, and here it is, you're moving it and you're allowing it to move within your emotions. That does change this perspective that we were talking about. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Starseed Oracle. And this is going to be the last card, of course. So this can either be additional information on your emotional adventure, or since it is the last card, it can be a wild card and be whatever else the creator wants you to know about your month of February. So creator for Arcturians, what's your final message for this reading for them? And you got called. And that says, soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. Which there's been a lot of mention in this reading about your dreams, identifying your dreams, moving on your dreams, and really awareness around it. So this is going to be a big piece of what is going on for you too, is this creativity, this way of expressing yourself and putting your goals and ideas into action. So, and especially with this action card right below it, there is this nudge of, yeah, it's time to live your passion, how you uniquely want to share the unconditional love with the world, right? It says you came to Earth with a double mission, to grow as a soul and to bring about a shift in consciousness. The best way to fulfill these personal and collective purposes is to trust what it is that your soul is calling you toward, for it's encoded with the most direct path forward. Your soul has many unique gifts that it came here to share. Some you may already be aware of, others you're just beginning to uncover. You're being called to remember that your soul intelligently chose the perfect conditions to carry out your soul's mission and share your soul's gifts. If you're being called toward a creative project, a passion, or an adventure, this card is your confirmation that you're facing the right way and that this moment right here is destined. If you're feeling underprepared or thinking, who am I to do that? This card is guiding you to step up and leap, and consider perhaps that your soul has been training for this moment right here for lifetimes. And this gives you a little activation. It says, put your hand on your heart and whisper the following. I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received throughout all of my lifetimes. I'm ready to embody them all now without hesitation or fear. I fully commit to being here now. I'm ready to step into my soul's highest and most important calling. I've been training for this for lifetimes. Wow, beautiful. Gonna be an awesome February for you, Taurians. I can just feel it. And you have this beautiful power of choice that is really becoming so prevalent in your awareness and in your life. So I really love that. Right, I'm going to leave the reading there. And I want to let you know that if you're enjoying these videos and you want to help share the love, and also if you want to be notified of any of the other readings that I do throughout the month, because I do, in addition to these, like weekly energy updates by each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs, and I do like full moon, new moon readings, and a variety of others. So if you want to give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also if you click the subscribe button and then the notification bell, doing all of that helps the YouTube algorithm share these videos with other people as recommended videos, but it also allows you to select to be notified immediately when these new videos become available. So never any pressure to do that, but if you feel so inclined, I would greatly appreciate that, of course. All right, my beautiful Taurians, just know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day of your life, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing February, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.